Welcome back, guys.
Welcome to Just Say That Then.
You know what I'm saying?
Episode
This
2.
episode 2.
We back.
We back.
Hi, Janine.
Hi, Joy.
How are you?
Wonderful. How are you?
You're answering way too fast because I can't come up with the next question.
Oh, you were speaking like you knew what you were about to say.
So prior to this episode, we were talking about healing, right? And we actually didn't want these topics to become like redundant AF. But Janine just randomly, per usual, started talking about something, and we started delving into it, and then we're like, hold up, stop. We got to talk about this on the podcast. Yeah. Because it was just getting a little too deep. But what she was talking about is a topic that I feel like we've touched on before. We just aren't sure. Mm-hmm. But the question that you actually posed to me was what? How do you heal? Or how do you heal?
Yeah.
And it literally like stopped me in my tracks because I was like, damn, I didn't even think about that like that.
Like how do I heal?
And the first thought that came to my mind was I saw this Alex Elle. She's a health and wellness shoot. Hell, she's damn near. She's amazing. She's an author. I want to say she has a podcast as well. But I follow her on Instagram. And she always has like these amazing quotes that touch on a lot of different psychological topics and stuff like that with trauma, healing, stuff like that, people pleasing, and so on and so forth. And I just randomly stumbled across a video where she was just like, when people are doing their like healing journey, they're not taking account of the joy that also comes with the healing journey. Mm-hmm. It's almost like you kind of shun it because you're like, nope, I'm focused. Got to deal with this pain, this trauma, all of this stuff that I've been through, but you're not welcoming in the joy that brings. Almost like it's like as you're breaking those walls down of pain and trauma and all that stuff, it's just like you got to be welcoming in the joy as well.
Do you think it's because you don't just feel like you deserve to have joy at that time?
I think so.
Because you're supposed to be so tunnel vision and
I know for me personally, I felt like my healing journey was just like very linear. Never ending, but linear. Because I would feel like I'm in therapy, you know, I be trying to practice what I preach. But, you know, I have slip-ups every now and then. But I feel like sometimes I have a lot of hiccups and where it'll knock me like 10 steps back. And I'm kind of like back at the place that I was. And then I'll literally start climbing the healing journey right back again. Because that's
what you're supposed to do anyway, right?
Yes, for sure. I mean,
I don't think you would ever go back to the place you were. You always are growing. So,
well, I'll say this.
Because that can discourage you is why.
If I'm being, let me take a shot. Speaking of, while I have you.
I can't stand her. I swear.
While I have you guys. I'm really excited about this. We actually have shot glasses coming.
They're coming.
This is the prototype, so you know we're just getting some practice in. So coming soon. Oh wait,
It's okay.
Should I get you one?
I told her I was not gonna take a shot.
Don't worry, I got you one. Don't you worry.
But I'm gonna take it today.
Yes,
I'm gonna take it. I like this. This is
I'm
cute.
really excited.
Can mine be like that big though?
So you want it to be where the line that says, just say that in?
Just say that in.
Or should I stop it where it say?
I think you should stop
that
it
in.
Underneath. Yeah.
That in?
No, actually underneath Joy and Janine.
Let's see where it falls.
I'm going to hit it out your hand, I swear, if you put more than that. Go, that's it.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Thank you.
I'm really excited about it.
I'm already.
Because Janine like to take shots of whatever is in her glass. I'm going to put her on blast about it.
I'm too old to be doing shots like this anymore.
So let's cheers. I'm excited. We got shot glasses.
We do.
Cheers.
Wait, healing.
Do we look at each other?
I don't know, but let's look at each other again. Cheers.
I'm still looking at you.
Okay, Plaza.
Just don't make the face.
You got to keep it cool.
So
I'm going to sit that right there so y'all can see that.
since we talking about it, what I feel like the place that I usually am sometimes, like, let's say I get into a little tiff, right? And then, you know, say maybe it ends up having me like very emotional, right? And then I'll start spiraling, as in, oh man, this is all my dad's fault. Oh man, he's gone, so I can't even like ask for his help, his advice in the situation. Oh man, I waited too long to fix things with us. Oh man, like it's just, it literally goes like that.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I'll be in a place where I'm just like, well, fuck it. It is what it is.
Right.
Karma will give me when she ready.
Right.
So it's just, I find it that I'll make 10 steps forward, but then as soon as like something happens, I'm right back.
Yeah.
And it's very unhealthy patterns. It's very unhealthy, like.
So in those moments, you feel like you're not healing properly, because if you were healing properly, you wouldn't go back.
Yep. And then I'll beat myself up about it, because I'll be like, you know, I'm fucking up at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because I know like, say like a situation's over here distracting me from actually my healing journey, right? I'll know that that's like, you shouldn't do that. You got to go back to your healing journey, because that's going to hinder you.
Yeah.
I'll beat myself up about that. But then a month later, right back there.
Well, see, what I do know that from experience and just from observation, that when you are trying to heal correctly, you can't be petty. You can't be vengeful. You can't do it for reasons outside of just you.
I was about to say
your
you, right?
healing.
Yeah.
Because if you're healing for something else or someone else, then you will always go back there.
You know what I think, since you just said that, I think the way that maybe I'm possibly looking at it as if like it's this 1 + 1 = 2. It's a very like, you have to do this, you have to take these necessary steps in order to get this.
Yeah.
You know, so I think to myself, I'm in therapy. I'm trying to talk all these, you know, situations through when it comes to like, you know, friends, my marriage, or just so on and so forth. Even just like say with my mom and stuff, like I feel like I'm taking the necessary steps, but then there'll be that like hiccup and take me back. And then I think for myself, it's like, I think I have to stop looking at it so linear and so like point A to point B.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because girl, I be fucking
And you got to start doing it for yourself.
that part.
You have to do it for yourself. You can't do it because you feel like somebody is looking at me a certain way because of, and so I need to fix this, because that's that perfection thing that you do. You have to do it because you really want that change. You really want to be that person, as opposed to feeling like I'm doing this for the facade of what it's supposed to look like.
Oh, because you in therapy. Nah, fam.
Yeah.
Because you be wasting money too, boy. I'm just saying.
It's funny because I still have yet to go to therapy. We have talked about this several times.
Why is that?
I'm gonna get there. You know, Joy, I don't know, other than just not having the time, which is not a good excuse.
It's not, for sure.
Because I feel like I'm at a place where it's time for me to really deep dive into self-love and self-healing. Okay. And I can't do that without therapy. Now, sometimes I feel like I'm my own little therapist, you know, but
don't we all?
Yeah. But I really do feel like it would make a big difference if I had help in that area. And just taking the time out to do that for myself. Yeah. Like, everything about me right now is about everything else outside of me. Yeah. And I'm trying to get back to me. So I really got to get on that, because there is no way I can go through this healing journey. What's crazy is I feel like I'm always on a constant healing thing. But like you said, you spiral back. It's like I pull up those abandonment issues, those daddy issues, those all the time. And it's like, if I'm back here, what did I do that for? How did I get back here? I was supposed to be over
and that easy.
That easy.
Like,
something can trigger you that easy fast. And you're like, whoa, how did I
You know, sometimes what be triggering me?
Oh, no. That's what needs to be on your self-healing journey. No alcohol.
Because let me tell you, I forget about it when
yeah.
that thing's in my system.
You know what's crazy is I had the best detox ever. 9 months and then 9 months.
A lot of people have been telling me I need to do that detox.
A
lot of people.
You get a really good detox when you start having babies because you have no choice. And the clarity that comes out of that, and even the emotions, because we're emotional creatures. So those spirits.
Look. They don't call them spirits for no reason.
Exactly. They don't call them spirits.
I believe it.
I do think that therapy is something that I totally need to tap into. I don't know if I heal correctly either. I know how to spot somebody else's healing, but I don't know if I do it. I'm sitting here thinking as you're talking, and I don't know if I heal correctly.
I definitely don't.
Because like you said, when you said that, I'm like, yeah, how do you go back to those places?
Yeah.
Like, is anybody out there that can help us out with that? Because I really wonder if that's normal, that you slip and go back to those places if you're really healed from them.
And then that made me think about, I'm reading this book called Radical Love, and it's literally about like self-healing, just self-love. I can't think of the author's name, but it definitely is the guy that plays Shazam, that actor.
Okay.
And it's a really good book. I'm on chapter about grace, giving yourself grace. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that he was saying about like his healing journey is just like he does end up fucking up, going back, having to start over and things like that. And it was something that you had just said, the last thing you said.
It's normal. I was asking, I don't know. I was definitely asking, is it a normal thing, or, are we healed from those things if we're going back to them? Or is it normal?
No, it definitely is normal. Oh, but the grace, that's what it was. It was almost like you have to give yourself grace in those situations. And it's almost like because if I'm not mistaken, I want to say when his mom died, he started having these like kind of reverting back, but he was on like a prescription, which I try to stay away from, just, But it was this sense of certain things that he had learned throughout his journey. Like say if you trip up, and you want to go do that bad thing or drink that drink or smoke that whatever. It's almost like he learned so much stuff within his journey where it was like, okay, well, when I want to go do this, I'm going to go take a walk. Yeah. When I want to do this, I'm going to just text my friend. If I'm feeling like this, I'm going to go write in my journal. Yeah. It's those little things that I know for myself. Like I've learned along the way, and I've heard that it helps, especially the journaling. Mm-hmm. When you have like sudden thoughts, just go journal real quick. Yeah. Or like say like think of 5 things that you're grateful for right when you're having that negative thought. Like instantly. Like I try to do like those little, those little things to kind of just distract you or get you back on your course. But it's been rough, child. Yeah. It's been rough.
It's hard for me to journal. I don't know why. I used to love writing so much, but for whatever reason, I don't know if it's just things that I don't want to face.
You got to be uncomfortable, though.
Write them down, yeah. It's hard to write certain things down. And I find myself writing things down, and then I'm rambling, and it's not making sense. And
it will, though.
I wonder if it's because I can't even speak on them. Like, I don't want it to be true. Like, am I that delusional at times that I can't even write it down and face the truth of what I'm writing down? I don't know. This is weird because when you just said that, it's like,
listen, and that's one thing he did in the book. His mom passed, and I think like one of his therapists had said, write her a note. Like write as if you're telling them how you feel about them, the things you've gone through, whether you forgive them or not. Just write like almost like a love letter to them.
Oh yeah.
And it about tore me up because of course you instantly I started thinking about my father. But we were able to reconcile before he passed, but he didn't in the book. So I think that was a good exercise for him to things that are just kind of left unsaid, and open. And
that makes sense. Like if I had a direct person I was talking to, because I can write a message now.
But it's almost like you writing a note to your younger self. Yeah. The promises that you're going to make to her. Yeah. Of where people may have fallen short, or even you may have fallen short with her. Right. Younger Janine. Yeah. Because that's the one thing that I keep going back to is Lil Joy. Yeah. Like, that whole self-love thing is like.
That's hurtful.
Don't. What you mean?
Going back to the promises that I made young Janine, because I feel like there are several things now that I didn't keep my promise to young Janine. And which is the reason why I'm on such a journey now to start deep diving into self-love and healing, because it's hurtful. I try not to live with regret.
Right.
But I do feel like, and I know that everything happens for a reason and your life is already what it is, but I do feel like there are certain decisions you make that prolong your blessings, that prolong your life. If you're not brave enough or courageous enough or have confidence enough in yourself to step out and do the things you need to do, you prolong things that are for you.
Yeah.
And when I started thinking about those things, because when you go through pandemic and pregnancies and you got a lot of time in the house alone by yourself to really think about a lot of things, it makes you really be like, there are some promises you're not keeping.
You're not, following through.
You know, so that kind of makes me sad.
For sure. But I would just say be patient with yourself with that. Because, like, I guess, like, especially, like, with where you are now, it's like you can only deal with what's going on right now and staying present. Yeah. But as far as the promises that you made to Lil Janine, for sure, I feel like those are the ones we can make up for. Yeah. Like, all the ones that you're showing up for Lil Janine, supporting Janine, showing her love, being heard, everything.
Yeah, I agree. And if I had one thing from just that experience and what I've experienced with that, especially when I look into my little girl's eyes and think about, their future, that it's better to do that healing and all of that before you have them.
Ooh, child.
Because
that's at the top of my list.
Yeah.
Because I have such a fear of passing on my trauma.
You don't want to do that.
And it's so easy.
Girl,
it's so
They watch everything you do.
Girl, look at how Chloe and Brooklyn react to me and Timothy arguing.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm like, oh my God, my kids are going to be like this.
Yeah. If one of us raise our voice, Honest is like,
no.
Or she'll come up to me and like, let me be sad. Let something be on TV or me be sad about something. Mommy, you okay?
Yeah.
You okay, Mommy? You all right?
Chunky.
And I'm like, the fact that she feels that, but it immediately makes me feel better. But I also, in the same breath, I'm like, this girl feels this and she knows everything.
Early.
And I have to make sure that I am such an example for her so that she won't make some of the mistakes,
and then she won't go and sit down with her best friend, hopefully my child, and create a podcast where she's talking about us. Okay.
Right.
That's what we don't want.
You gotta do this right.
So I'm a big advocate of trying to nip those that trauma in the bud before you pass those things on, because it's like you said, it's very, very, very easy.
So if we had to speak to how to heal the correct way, we don't know.
I mean, the only thing that I would honestly say is it's not linear and it's never ending. And I think that if you have enough grace with yourself, it's just like, you're going to get it done.
Yeah.
It's
it
baby
can't
steps.
Be petty vengefulness, like nothing in there. It has to be all for you.
And when I say have that grace for yourself, because I'm really speaking to myself. Because, boy, I get knocked off that healing journey.
Knocked down,
I can't.
But I get up again.
Don't you ever want right? Okay, so I feel like if you do get knocked down, you just pick yourself back up. I'm so sorry, y'all. You see, she had that one shot, and so she feeling it, boy. She feeling that thing. But, yeah, it's like it's not linear, and have patience and grace with yourself.
Tunnel vision. You can't have tunnel vision. Yeah. When it comes to healing, you have to allow things in to help you get to that place.
Yeah. So cheers to everybody on their healing journey.
Cheers.
And I feel like that was.
Yeah. Just say that thing.
Just say that then. That's all you had to say.
Enjoy. You know what I'm saying? Bye, y'all.